Come and say, what yo, Tipa come again. Come once again, for all me black people, them. Yes, me and fear them solve the problem. Cause we are kill one another like it's a new trend and Tipa vex star. Cause black a kill black, so Tipa vex star. Again, the Tipa vex star. When black and kill black and so we vex star. Again, well what's the matter? Why we killing one another? Me say it don't ever wanna be galang better. What's the matter? We have to ask what's the matter? Cause it don't make sense at all. Stall me say what's the matter? Why we killing one another? It don't ever wanna be galang better. Me say what's the matter? We have to ask what's the matter? Why black always and kill black and it's a battle. And kill a youth a lazy home. Living family a weep and moan. Why we are going like Sylvester Stallone? Put to you and black bread under the ground. When black people we not safe and sound. Well if we keep on a kill off we own. If you give a youth $10 and give him a couple for home. Well you just don't safe in your home. That's why the tip on best.
And here you see the Haroon on the Lambo. On December the 25th, it was the birth of the S-U-N sun at the Hilliker Rising of Sirius. That Haroon was going to come back and it would be a resurrection. You carved it on the books in stone. Thousands of years ago, what others have copied from you, covered these temples up so you would not know it. You see right here, brothers and sisters, now you see the white Antichrist Jesus clapping. Somebody came here and took this directly off of those temples. Your mind, I don't care how much a believer you are, but your mind, the Creator gave us a brain to think. You are thinking beyond belief. That's what's happening right now, all right? So where did Raphael get these pictures from? And then we look at this as being the Jesus, and this is nothing but his descriptions and paintings that they copied from the spirit of the dancing God. As we go and look at this closely and see Newsweek rethinking the resurrection. Yeah, they rethinking. They've been lying and still didn't understand the story in the first place. I knew they about the risen Christ. Yes, because they never understood it in the first place, brothers and sisters. They never understood what our ancestors were telling us about the highest form that you can reach as spirituality is above man-made religion.
Hold a bit lower, Judy. Hold a bit lower, a bit lower. No, they're saying lower, Judy, right?
That is low.
No, much lower. There. Ah, yeah. Can you hear that?
Oh, I can hear that now, yes.
Yeah.
What's that actually doing? I mean, is that protecting him in any kind of way, or is...
Master Yuanzi is focusing all his thought onto his lower abdominal area and bringing all his qi, all his internal energies. To that point.
Well, we've got 3, if you like, demonstrations.
However, the most profound wisdom and the most mysterious power of Kung Fu is called Qigong. Through breathing and a series of systematic movements, Qigong produces a type of energy called Qi. The Chinese believe that Qi, or energy, normally resides in a place they call Dantian in the lower abdomen. Once you can freely direct this energy to a particular part of the body, you can produce enormous power.
Second. First of all, we have the telegraph pole. So, gentlemen, would you like to pick up the telegraph pole and do what you need to do with that? We'll just step back here and give them all the space you need. Thank you.
The art of the iron. This very performance is called the Buddha strikes the bell. It is taking a treatment at full impact on his abdominal area.
Oh, come on, give it up. That was something else. you see, I kind of half expected them to be almost pulling the punches there. We call it pulling the punches, where you don't quite go all the way in. But he really was taking full impact there, wasn't he?
He was, yes.
Well, and that wouldn't cause any bruises to him or any damage of any kind?
No.
Incredible, isn't it?
What do you think?
Well, it's unbelievable. I mean, all he's got there is skin and muscle between the exterior and his internal organs. That sort of blunt injury on an abdominal wall could rupture a spleen, liver, abdominal aorta. Extremely dangerous. But obviously, I mean, he's got great control physically and mentally.
So if you and I had been there, we'd been on our way to hospital now.
I'm bent over double, yeah, in a very bad state.
And you, obviously, it's quite clear from what he says. I know he's terribly well trained and his muscles are very well toned, but it's all down to his mental processes.
Yes, in the West we tend to focus on all the physical aspects of Kung Fu, but in fact it's really all about a mental training. That's what it was there for in the first place.
Yeah.
And you could see that he was composing himself and focusing on what they call the chi, but we would call breathing. He's focusing on slowing his breathing down and concentrating on that. Because he's concentrating on that, he doesn't actually feel pain in the way that you and I would.
No, you can see it there on the reconstruction.
You can see actually how hard it's going in on this.
But he's also breathing out very suddenly when he's actually hit, and that's part of regulating his breathing, which is what he's focusing on, and that's why he doesn't feel pain.
Let's break some sticks. Okay, we've got some genuine wooden sticks here, which we were looking at earlier. They are proper solid wood, and they're going to beat him with it.
I can't.
Master Shi now is performing the iron shirt or steel jacket technique. He's taking full blow to his ribs.
Whoa!
I couldn't bear to watch that.
Back we go.
Very well done.
Could you, excuse me, sir, could you just pass me the pole?
That's breaking. Richard, it's breaking.
Pardon?
It's got green stick fractures.
Okay, well, try it. That is a solid, you check it, Judy, that is a proper solid pole. That's not balsa wood.
No, but it's broken. Look, it's breaking.
You mean it's snapped on his, on his
can
body?
you see that? Look, there.
On his body.
It's snapped on his body.
Good God. Well, again, watching it on telly, you wouldn't be aware, but you could actually feel, standing over there, you could feel these little shock waves going through you, couldn't you? You know, the sound waves, the impact was coming through. Yeah. I mean, muscle. A stick on the arm. OK, we'll step back a bit, give him room. Got one more after this, it's the bricks on the head.
Oh.
This is also a display of the steel jacket, the iron shirt technique. Master Shi is taking a strike right on his
God almighty, I can't.
See, he allows himself a small smile there. Just
Congratulations.
And this is also a demonstration to prove that Chan Buddhism or Zen Buddhism does really work. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Congratulations.
These are the Kung people from out of Angola, South Africa. In South Africa, they're called the Bushmen. But if you notice something, look at the eyelids. This is where the Orientals stem from. It's from the Kung people. Hence the reason why Kung Fu, Qigong. All right, the word Kung means to cultivate energy. All right, cultivate. That's what Qi or Kung, Kung means, is to cultivate, develop. So the Kung people are the developing people, and they're the ones on which that, if you notice here, the Orientals come from. You can look at her features and know that instantly. All right. Here's another picture. This comes from J. Rogers' Sex and Race, Volume 1, in which he compares the Kung people and the Orientals. As you can see here, the facial features very similar. This is their origin as us. Here's a Nubian, who also are the Olmecs. All right, the Nubians are the Olmecs. We are the Nubians. We are the Olmecs. This is our lineage also. All right. you have the Masakin and the Kao Nuba people of present-day Sudan still have a mandate that requires early young men to enter into martial arts training. So martial arts comes from out of Nubia, Sudan as we now refer to it as. This is one of the descendants of the Kong people in Nubia, all right, who are now referred to as the Nubian people, who are the descendants of the Olmecs, who actually is called the Shi people. Xi'an is the province in China where the pyramids are located at in China. The Olmecs are the ones who built it. Their deity was called Shang, as in Shango. So when you go back to China first dynasty, the first dynasty is the Shang dynasty. The third dynasty is the Shang Li dynasty. The word Li means black. So Shang is short for Shango, who is the thunder god, in which that now, when you read the Norse tales within the comic books, that's Thor. But this is your history. So this is why you need to know. Tombs, there are two pairs of warriors facing each other. In the example from Prince Kati tomb, the warrior standing with his left foot outstretched, left arm forwards. From his left hand, a belt in the form of a rope dangling to the floor. This rope does not fall naturally into two strands as it normally would. The belt is interwoven, as it is not a simple rope. It is a symbol of the Shin, which means spirit also, which is a coiled rope used to represent intertwined bioelectrical, magnetic, and spiritual polarities or opposites. The opponent facing him is tying the belt around his waist. The tying of the belt around the second chakra was a symbolic act meant to remind the student that the training was the purpose of developing the Kundalini or spiritual life force from its lowest to its highest point along the spine. It is also the storage place, the lower dantian of Chi, Ki, Prana energy. Alright, so we don't get into this tonight, how to store this energy. But this is the picture. So this is where the black belt comes in at. In martial arts. It's right on the walls of Africa. This is why the black belt is used today in martial arts.